The rain never really stops in Seattle. It just changes its mind about how hard it wants to fall. That October morning in 2014, it was the soft, persistent kind. The drizzle that soaks your shoulders and makes the city smell like wet concrete and pine. I was 29, walking up the hill from the bus stop in Belltown, thermos of black coffee in one hand, umbrella in the other that I kept forgetting to open. My shoes were already squishing. My stomach was in knots. Cascade Tech Solutions occupied the 8th floor of a glass building that looked too modern for the gray sky. Exposed brick walls, open-plan desks, standing tables, plants hanging from the ceiling like someone had decided the office needed to feel like a terrarium. Bob Harlan met me at reception. Mid-50s, salt and pepper beard, flannel under a blazer. The Pacific Northwest uniform of someone who codes but also hikes on weekends. "Alex," he said, shaking my hand firmly. "Welcome to the family." That word, family, landed like a promise I hadn't earned yet but already wanted to keep. My own dad walked out when I was 12, left a note on the fridge next to the grocery list, and never came back. Mom raised me alone in Tacoma, working graveyard shifts at St. Joseph Medical Center. Bob's casual family felt like oxygen after years of holding my breath. He hired me as a senior software engineer. Starting salary? $78,000 plus stock options that might be worth something someday. I started on the patient portal project for Northwest Regional Hospital Network. Hype A compliant, secure file sharing, real-time dashboards for doctors and patients. I built the authentication layer, the encryption backbone, the audit trails. Late nights turned into early mornings. I'd code until my eyes burned, eat cold takeout from the fridge, then do it again. Bob noticed. He started leaving post-it notes on my monitor. "Great architecture, son. Get some sleep." He'd bring in breakfast burritos for the team, but always save the best one. The one with extra guac, for me. When Mom's cancer returned in 2017, stage 3, aggressive, I thought my world would collapse. I asked for remote flexibility. Bob didn't blink. "Take what you need, Alex. Your mom's health comes first. We'll cover the extra PTO. Don't worry about billing hours." He sent flowers to Tacoma, a care package with books, cozy socks, a gift card for groceries. He and his wife drove up one weekend, sat with Mom for hours telling stories from his own family's cancer battles. "Alex is one of the good ones," he told her. She cried harder than I'd seen since Dad left. Later, alone in the hospital parking lot, I cried too. I stayed through it all. Mom beat it again. I got promoted to lead engineer in 2019, then director of engineering in 2021. Stock vested, salary crossed 6 figures. I bought a small condo in Fremont, nothing flashy, but mine. A view of the ship canal if you leaned out the window. Life felt earned, stable. Then Lauren walked in. Spring 2021. She arrived as VP of Product. Stanford MBA, sharp bob haircut, tailored blazers, the kind of confidence that makes rooms quieter when she speaks. Bob's goddaughter. He'd mentioned her over beers once or twice. Smart kid. Going places. He introduced her at all hands like she was the missing piece. "Lauren's here to take us to the next level. Alex, you'll be her right hand." I mentored her, spent evenings in empty conference rooms walking her through the platform I'd spent 7 years perfecting. Explained why we chose AES 256 over the newer standards for legacy compatibility. Showed her the audit logs I'd insisted on building even when finance complained about storage costs. She absorbed it all. Asked sharp questions. I felt proud, like I was paying forward the mentorship Bob had given me. Within 6 months, the shift began. My quarterly demos became our collaborative vision in board decks. Client wins I negotiated got reframed as team achievements in company Slack channels. Lauren presented at investor updates with slides I'd created, smiling at the camera while I watched from the back row, arms crossed. Bob started calling her kiddo in meetings, the same warm tone he'd used for me since day one. She got the glass office with the Elliott Bay view, travel budget for SXSW, Web Summit, Davos-style events in New York. I stayed behind to handle 2 AM outages and SOC 2 audits. The ache started small, a tightness in my chest when her name appeared above mine on org charts. I pushed it down. Family sticks together. Right? By 2023, Cascade had doubled. New floor in South Lake Union, ping pong tables, free kombucha on tap, a full-time barista. We landed a $15 million expansion contract with the Washington State Department of Health. My secure framework at the core, designed to handle millions of patient records without a single breach. I waited for the CTO announcement. Bob had hinted at it over beers after the deal closed. Instead, at the next all hands, Lauren stood at the front. New title: Chief Product and Technology Officer. She thanked the incredible team and Bob for his unwavering belief in me. I clapped with everyone else, smiled for the cameras, felt something inside me fracture. Afterward, Bob found me in the kitchenette, pouring cold coffee. Alex, son, timing is everything. Lauren needs the title for investor confidence. You're my rock. Next cycle. Promise. The fracture widened. Then came the real break. Late 2024. Annual performance reviews. Lauren called me into the glass conference room on a Tuesday afternoon. Bob was already there, staring at his laptop, jaw tight, refusing to meet my eyes. She slid a manila folder across the table. Alex, we're restructuring. Your role is being eliminated. Effective immediately. Inside, performance notes I'd never seen. Leadership gaps. Missed deliverables. Backdated JIRA comments claiming I'd delayed key milestones. Altered commit logs showing incomplete work on projects I'd shipped early. Fabricated Slack threads from concerned team members, complaining about my communication. They'd framed me. Lauren's voice was calm, almost sympathetic. Security will escort you out. Box up your personal items. We'll process your final paycheck and COBRA paperwork. Bob finally looked up, eyes wet, but he said nothing. My throat closed. Tears burned behind my eyes. This man who'd called me son, who'd driven to Tacoma when Mom was in chemo, who'd promised me the world, was letting his goddaughter erase me to protect her climb. I stood, hands shaking so hard the folder trembled. You have 72 hours, I said quietly. Lauren raised an eyebrow, half amused. Excuse me? 72 hours before the whistleblower report hits the SEC, DOJ, and Washington State Attorney General. Before those vendor invoices get subpoenaed. Before the board sees where the $1.2 million actually went. Bob's face drained of color. Lauren's smile faltered for the first time. I walked out. No one stopped me. The security guard looked confused when I passed him without a box. I drove home through sheets of rain, parked outside my Fremont condo, sat in the driver's seat and broke. Ugly, choking sobs, fists against the steering wheel. For the 7 years, the loyalty, the late nights, the trust I'd given like it was infinite, for the family that turned out to be conditional. I cried until my shirt was soaked and my voice was hoarse. Then I went inside, locked the door, pulled the external drive from the safe under my bed. I'd started the folder in 2022, quiet paranoia after the first time Lauren presented my work as hers. Every email she sent approving inflated vendor payments to companies tied to her fiance's consulting side hustle. $200,000 in marketing services with no deliverables. $450,000 in vendor development to shell accounts in Delaware. Server logs showing her logging into my repo at 3:17 a.m. to alter commit histories. Screenshots of Slack DMs directing finance to adjust numbers for board reports. bank transfer receipts, wire confirmations, everything time-stamped, everything linked to her credentials. 1,800 plus files. Ironclad. At 2:47 a.m., I emailed the board. All 9 members, including the 3 independent directors who'd never liked Lauren's flash. Subject: urgent. Material financial irregularities and fraud at Cascade Tech Solutions. Immediate disclosure required. CC'd my old contact at the Seattle Times tech desk who owed me a favor after I helped fact-check a story on HIPAA breaches years ago. Attachment: zipped archive. I hit send. Then I slept for the first time in days. The storm broke at 9:12 a.m. Board emergency Zoom. External forensic auditors on site by noon. Washington State Department of Health Compliance Office notified. Public funds in the contract meant felony-level scrutiny under state law. Lauren tried to spin it as disgruntled ex-employee fabrication. But metadata didn't lie. Her IP addresses, her access tokens, her personal bank account numbers in the vendor wires. Bob resigned 10 days later. Press release said personal health reasons. Everyone knew. Lauren was suspended, then terminated for cause. Her fiance's firm got hit with IRS audits. Assets frozen. The company lost 3 major hospital clients in a month. Stock, if it had been public, would have tanked 60%. Layoffs followed in waves. I didn't watch the news, didn't post on LinkedIn, didn't tell anyone I told you so. I hurt too much. But the phone started ringing. Old clients I'd personally onboarded. Alex, we trusted you, not the company. Come build it right for us. Juniors I'd mentored. We quit yesterday. Teach us. We don't want to stay in that place. Mom drove up from Tacoma. Held me while I cried again on the couch. Mijo, sometimes the people who hurt you the most are the ones who free you to become who you're meant to be. I started Integrity Cascade Labs from my living room. No venture capital. Bootstrapped with savings and the first 3 contracts that followed me out the door. First client. The state health portal expansion, pulled from Cascade and awarded directly to me after the AG's office confirmed no conflict. Within 18 months, we had 62 employees, $11 million in annual recurring revenue, profit sharing from day 1, unlimited PTO, mandatory mental health days, therapy stipend, no nepotism, ever. I walk past the old Cascade building sometimes. It's quieter now, smaller logo, half the floors subleased. A startup incubator moved in downstairs. On my desk sits the old photo from my first year. Me at my cubicle, late night, smiling at lines of code on the screen. Next to it, a team photo from our last offsite. Puget Sound sunset, everyone laughing, arms around each other. I built something worth protecting. And in protecting it, I protected the part of me Bob broke. Forgiveness came slowly. Bob emailed once, a year later. Alex, I was wrong. I let family blind me. I'm proud of what you've built. I'm sorry. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I replied, I know, I forgive you. But forgiveness doesn't mean I need your approval anymore. I hit send. Lauren faded from industry news. Last I heard she was consulting independently. Small gigs, reputation toxic. I don't hate her anymore. The pain taught me boundaries, taught me that loyalty without reciprocity is self-betrayal, taught me that family isn't blood or titles, it's who shows up when the rain is falling hardest. Now, when it rains in Seattle, and it always does, I don't mind. I walk to the window of my new office, South Lake Union, water view on clear days, and watch it fall. I smile, because I was never invisible. I was always enough. And now, finally, the world sees it too.